Welcome back to Open. The Bronx Economic Development Corporation has announced the second annual BX Factor 10,000K, or excuse me, 10K, which is 10,000, small business challenge running through Bronx Week, May 5th through May 19th, 2025. The competition is open to businesses with fewer than 100 employees who have been operating for at least 1 year. Applicants must outline how they would use the prize money to grow their business, and 5 finalists will be selected to pitch their ideas during Bronx Week. Marshall Strawbridge, the Director of Outreach for the BX EDC, joins us in the studio now. Thank you for joining us. I like seeing you when you come on TV because you always bring good news. I was going to call him Good News Marshall. The BX EDC, you guys, you and Rob and all my friends, Jolene and all my friends over there are just working your tails off to provide and do things for the people of the Bronx.
Absolutely, absolutely. And one of our main focuses in our work is supporting small businesses. It's really, I think we've established, that support for small businesses is our bread and butter. And we've been doing that really with a real focus on delivering resources to small businesses, primarily through our capital access programs. We have a number of different small business lending products for small businesses ranging from small dollar amounts up to $1 million loans. But one of the areas that we constantly hear is needed to fill the gap, even for getting businesses to the stage of loan readiness, is small business grants. And so this is a partnership that we've actually done for a number of years with Santander and giving out small business grants. But it wasn't until last year that we said, why don't we make this a part of Bronx Week and not only do the work of delivering these resources to small businesses, but also use Bronx Week as a platform to not just showcase, but celebrate the vibrancy and entrepreneurial talent that we have here in the Bronx.
You just used the word that I was thinking of, is if you do it in Bronx Week, then that becomes a celebration. It's not like just, handing over a check. But I like the idea of the BX Factor Challenge because it inspires everybody to kind of keep thinking about the next step and what they can do. So describe what it is, describe also, if you would, the philosophy behind it, and of course the value to our friends and neighbors who are small business owners.
Sure. So like I said, this is really accomplishing a number of things in one event. So primary objective is to deliver cash resources to our small businesses. So 5 finalists who we'll select will pitch their ideas for how they'll use $10,000 to grow their business. So, and this can range from a tech startup to we had arts and culture businesses to a 100-year-old restaurant. So it really runs the gamut in terms of types of businesses that we feature as finalists. And so that really accomplishes the other aspect, which is showcasing the entrepreneurial talent here in the Bronx. So it's not just focused on any one particular industry or business type. It's not like it's limited to brick and mortar stores or legacy businesses. We really want to make sure this is open to all different sorts of businesses, because the success in that is people walk away from the event saying, whoa, I didn't even know the Bronx had an artisan woodcrafts woman who actually won the competition.
Who won an award.
Gomez Design Studio.
That's pretty exciting. Talk about what they need to do to present and to have a chance to win. And do you get a lot of entries?
So the application is open. We're already getting dozens of applications. It's exciting to be getting a bunch of applications, but it's the hard part, as it was last year, is narrowing that down to 5 businesses. But businesses that are interested to apply still have a couple weeks left to do so. You want to go to bxedc.org/bx-factor, or you can find the link on our social media. The application is super simple. We ask for the name of your business, your address, contact information, how long you've been operating, and a description of how you want to use the money to grow. And then once we have those finalists, for folks who are like, oh, I've never done a pitch competition, I'm nervous, we actually are providing resources in partnership with BronxNet to prep those finalists to present on the day of the competition.
And what are, since you mentioned the TV station, what are those things that you're doing with us that...
Understanding timing and visual aids and the importance of telling a story about your business. So not just jumping straight into this is what I want to do with the money, but really getting a buy-in, because I mean, this is going to be selected by judges who will who want to buy into a story. So
Okay, no, so this is the second year of the challenge. Who won last year? Or I don't know if you want to call out the businesses or talk about the kinds of things that tend to do well.
So I'll give you, so the top three businesses. One was, the winner was Gomez Design Studio, which is an artisan wood. She makes wooden furniture
Yeah, that's what you referred to.
reclaimed reclaimed wood from construction sites. She takes it and turns it into artisan furniture, cutting boards,
Wow.
various, and she gets commission jobs for.
No wonder she won.
It's an incredible business model. But so that's the winner. Bronx native, a well-known Bronx-based clothing line and really just culture brand, and Green Canvas Productions, which is a multimedia company, Cygents, which is a leading-edge virtual reality company that creates workforce development tools using AI, so that nurses can get their certification entirely through this VR laboratory that they've built. And finally, a 100-year-old business, Mario's Restaurant, from Little Italy. So you'll believe me when I tell you, it's a ton of different types of businesses.
That's what resonated to me out of what you just said. All different types of businesses. And so then one of them gets the 10K?
One of them, everyone's going to walk away with a cash prize. The grand total is 10K. The two runners-up get 25K, and then 500 each go to the remaining two. Good.
Well, I was just going to ask, because you mentioned the bank, Santander Bank. Talk about them and their involvement and why, to me, the thing that really excites me is a bank working with you, and then, of course, working on behalf of businesses in the Bronx.
Sure. So I mentioned earlier, this is a partnership that we've done with Santander for a few years prior to this becoming the BX Factor, and I think that I credit the success of this partnership and its continued growth is they've bought into our mission. They've bought into what we believe, which is that by investing in that the small business of the Bronx are a good bet, and that by investing in those businesses is not just good for the entire borough, but it makes the city stronger as well. And so I think that they've been really strong partners with us on that, and it's good to be able to spotlight the work that they do in our borough in this event as well.
If somebody watching us says, well, this is a good idea, I've got a small business, I have an idea about et cetera, but I don't know if I can put together a pitch and I'm going to be in front of people and whatever it is, maybe you could put them at ease a little bit.
Sure. So for one, just off of the finalists that I shared earlier, that to me is the strongest evidence that we are not, this competition is not partial to any single type of business. What we're really looking for is the ability to communicate in writing, and at the pitch competition, how these resources will help your business grow. And that is something that we do on the capital access side as well. When businesses are coming to us for a loan, it's like, how are these resources going to help you grow your business? And so this is really just another facet of that area of work.
So we talk about the end result that that people will get to be part of Bronx Week and all that. I guess there is a show of some sort, or a meeting or an event of some sort.
Right. So
I'm going somewhere with this.
Sure.
Go ahead.
So the pitch so once we have the 5 finalists during Bronx Week, we'll have the pitch competition at BronxNet Studios on Westchester Avenue, where the audience will be made up of business leaders, community leaders from across the borough. And so again, this is another opportunity to put these businesses in the same room with other folks who potential customers, other areas where they can find support. So this is a marquee event for Bronx Week.
So having said that,
Yes.
did that to lead into the next question. To me, one of the real values here is that you're inspiring businesses to do this, to think outside the box, to think, wow, if I had the capital, and that process itself does what you started out saying, that it's really important to support small businesses because you're kind of inspiring them to move ahead.
That's certainly the idea. That's certainly the idea, is to not just have that immediate impact on those 5 businesses, but for this to have a ripple effect throughout the entrepreneurial community.
And you mentioned you're already receiving dozens of applications. How many
Yes.
people apply? Or how many businesses apply? I'd be curious.
Last year we got about 111, and we're
Wow.
hoping to beat that number this year.
And you started out, and I want to get back to it. And we had the Bronx Chamber here on Bronx Talk recently. Just talk about why you think small businesses are really, because I hear this over and over again, are really the foundation of the Bronx and Bronx economy.
Well, for one, they account for one of the largest shares of job creation here in our borough. So I think that for one is the biggest.
Start there.
The start there. They are the collectively the largest employers, but then they also our small businesses are the businesses that are most responsive to the needs and desires of our residents. And so
I'm going to add in, and you know this, of course, all too well. The Bronx is made up of 62 communities, and that's what our communities are about.
Right.
And I realize I'm sure you welcome big businesses to invest in the Bronx and all that. But what really defines our communities are the small businesses. When
Right.
you wake up in the morning, the deli you go to, where you shop, maybe there's a local clothing store that makes clothes of your fashion, of your style, which may not be available in other places.
Right. So I work with the 12 business improvement districts here in the Bronx, and I think that for each one of them, the fabric of our commercial corridors, the fabric of our neighborhoods is defined by the health of our small businesses. To your point, yes, anchor institutions are great. We want to have a diversity of type and scale in terms of our business community, but when we think about what it means to shop and to live in the Bronx, I think from a business side, that's defined by our small
and
businesses.
defines who we are as a people, so to
Yep.
speak. So how do we apply? Who applies? What do you got to do?
Like you said, small businesses operating for at least 1 year, under 100 employees. Visit our website, bxedc.org/bxfactor. That's bx-factor. Or you can find us on bx_edc on Instagram and find the link there. Super simple application, contact info, business info, how you use the $10,000. We'd love for as many businesses to apply.
This is why I said he's good news, Marshall Strawbridge. He brings us good news. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
joining us. And if you're interested in applying, once again, for this challenge, please go to the website, as he said, bxedc.org /bx
bxedc.org/bxfactor.
Factor. I see. Okay, I got it right. It's on the screen. We've come to the end of the show for today. We'd like to thank all of our guests for joining us, and for you, the viewers, for tuning in. If you missed any part of today's show, you can catch the recablecast at 5 and 8 p.m. tonight on Optimum Channel 67 and Verizon Fios 33. Or, of course, watch us anytime on the web at BronxNet.org. You can catch a brand new episode of Open with Darren Jaime on Wednesday, and with my buddy Rena on Friday. I'm Gary Axelbank. Till next time, you'll see me around here, I promise. Take care.